Yum. Not that handle. You want to go doggy cafe? Do you want to go doggy cafe? Honey, want to go doggy cafe? You go doggy cafe? Okay, let's go. I think they're actually looking at the fact that I'm eating food. Let's go. If you've been watching my previous videos, you would have seen that 3 days before my competition, I lost one of my dogs, Wilfred, to cancer, and he was my first ever dog. So losing him was like losing my best friend in the whole entire world. And that was the hardest part of my prep. There were lots of hard parts. That was the hardest part, and it was right before my competition. So once the comp was done, I needed to go through a grieving process and let myself be really, really sad about that. That was just over 8 weeks ago. And then a few weeks ago, I started feeling ready to look around and adopt again, because I always wanted another companion for my dog Harley, the one who is still here. And then a French Bulldog came up on a rescue site, and I made an application and heard back straight away. They asked if I'd like to come for a meet and greet. So I went there with Dave, and we took Harley as well to meet this little Frenchie, and we just loved her instantly. She got along really well with Harley. She was kind, she was timid, she was very unsocialized, but she didn't have any aggression. Beautiful little girl, and I just had to do it. So we adopted this little girl. We don't know anything about her history. We know nothing about where she came from, apart from the fact that she wasn't desexed, she wasn't microchipped, she's definitely had puppies. She's very young herself, and so she's got a lot of learning to do, but I've been really, really enjoying teaching her. People ask me all the time, what do you eat when you're finished competing? And the short answer is I actually eat what I was eating before the competition. The main difference, I think, is that you start to bring more variety back into your diet. And there might be a few things that you eat during comp that you get sick of and you delete those. Whereas salmon is one food that I just never, ever get sick of. I wish it was cheaper, because I would eat it more times in a day if I could afford it. But salmon is such a good source of protein and good fat that for me, it's a no-brainer. So probably twice a week, I'm cooking big batches of salmon like this, and I like to have it twice a day. I would have it more if it weren't for the cost, but right now I'm just getting my doggies' food ready and food prepping for myself at the same time. If you've recently been competing and you've hit that point in your off season where you're feeling sad, deflated, demotivated, down in the dumps, one of my biggest pieces of advice for those times is to start to take joy in the small things again. And that's why I'm showing you this of me making my dogs food, because these are the little things that really give me joy. Having animals, having pets, it just makes home life so much happier. Animals just have this beautiful calming effect. So I don't know if you love dogs, you love cats, whatever it is, if you have animals, you have pets, you have someone who you need to look after, who loves you, who relies on you, there's just this beautiful calming effect when you're at home. So my advice is look for things where you can take the joy in the small stuff. And that for me is just making their meals each day after we've been out for our walk. So this, that's me licking the peanut butter. This to me is finding joy in the little things again, because these are the things that when I'm competing, I still do them, but I'm so busy that I don't take joy in these things. I just do them to get them done. So right now I'm just savoring these moments of just enjoying time with my animals and doing daily task things I do every day, but doing it a little bit slower, being a little bit more mindful while I'm doing it, and just really enjoying watching them enjoy their food. These two are doing. You guys have had a very productive day, haven't you? Yeah. Hard life being a cat in this house. Right, shitbox right there. Right, and another one in there. Nice one. Little water fountain in the corner. Like that. Yeah. Good job. Let's see where we're at. Alright. This morning was 20th of September 2025. And the time was 6:45 a.m. I'm just going to go index. That's how many weeks out from comp, which is nothing right now. So I got down to 56.7 was the lowest. And today was 59.7. So 3 kilos up. So this part here, I'm not going to be bothered with skin fold readings at the moment. I will do it again at some point, but I just think there's not much point just keeping a track on just the scale weight, nothing else. So that means since comp, about a 3 kilo increase. That's pretty good for 8 weeks post comp. It's almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I'm only just getting around to doing my makeup and my hair now. That's pretty typical for me, and anyone who works split shifts or does early mornings and nights or random weird hours, you'll probably relate to this a lot, where you don't really have a set routine for these things, and sometimes they just don't happen until the afternoon, which probably seems like, what's the point? But for me, doing my hair and makeup just makes me feel a little bit more refreshed. So it's not that I need to look better, it actually makes me feel a little bit better. I suppose it's like brushing your teeth, it just makes you feel refreshed. So even though it's nearly 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I've only just got around to doing this now, I'm going to do this anyway. And it's just a nice calming process for me too. I think the actual process of putting makeup on and doing my hair, it makes me feel nice and calm. The actual process of putting the makeup on my face. And I think that's a small joy in life too, taking joy in the small things again. Doing these things just because you enjoy it, not because you feel like you have to or that you need it or anything like that. It's just a little few moments for yourself where you're just doing something for you. Been this dark for years, and I was just doing it because I wasn't that bothered about being super blonde right now because I'm not getting on stage, so it didn't matter. So I let my hairdresser do what she wanted to do, and I actually quite like it. I actually don't mind having my hair this dark. So you can see it's still got some blondes in it, but it's much darker than it was before and a lot closer to my natural colour. I still tie it up because the ends are just a bit, when I have it down, I just can't get it to sit how I want it to sit yet. But once I end up cutting the ends off, then it's going to be, at some stage, it's going to be a lot healthier. But I said to my hairdresser, I would rather have long, unhealthy hair than short, healthy hair. So I only let her cut off little bits at a time. So we're getting there, bit by bit. But now that I have got much darker hair, I actually really like it. So this is probably going to stay for a long time. And I even thought about, because I will compete again probably middle of next year, so maybe I'll have a year in between shows. I'm not sure exactly yet. But if I want to come in looking different, just drop my body pin, then why don't I've never actually been on stage with really dark hair, so maybe I'll just stick with the dark now. I don't know, maybe that's how I do something different. I just feel like I don't mind it as much as I used to mind it. Yeah. So yeah, maybe I'll brew that for the next, I don't know, decade. No, I think I'm liking this. Yeah, I'm liking the dark right now. Alright, I'm liking the dark. Yeah, my hairdresser will be happy when she hears me say that. Jules, I don't mind the dark. I'm going to let you keep doing it. Now. Alright. What do you reckon? Yeah. When I'm cooking salmon, I do loads of fillets at the same time. I cook them and then I pull the skins off and I save all the skins because they become dog and cat treats. And my animals love to eat. I mean, I give them the actual salmon fillet sometimes too, but they will eat any part of the salmon and I don't want to eat the skin. It's gross. So I give them that bit, but I like to leave it for a bit so that it goes crunchy, because then when that's cooled down, then that turns into a crunchy treat that I can give the cats and the dogs. I've got one cat who won't have it. The other one loves it and he can fight the dogs for it. See, look at this. Hello. See, look, they're all waiting. He loves salmon, Raphael. These two love it. She'll like play with it for a little bit and then doesn't really care anymore. Excuse me, do you mind? That's where I want to put my camera tripod. So, salmon in there. So, fillets can go in here. Skins are going to go in there. I like to do it in the salmon while the salmon is still hot, because once it's cooled down, it's actually harder to pull it off the skin. It's just easier to do it now. And in one meal, I'm going to have 2 whole fillets. So one tray makes 2 meals because you get 4 fillets. So off season, I don't go through a phase where I just eyeball the amounts of protein that I want in each meal. When I'm competing, I get the scales out and I weigh and measure everything. So I often eat the same food in my off season, but I can't be fucked with because if you weigh and measure all your meals, it's just more time consuming. But it's worth doing because you need to make sure that you know what, like you need to actually track what you're doing, so you're not over or under. Whereas off season, I'm just like, you've got to be. If you're having off meals, then you've got too many variables in there to be that nitpicky about your staples. So as long as you're getting lots of good nutrients into your body, then does it really matter if you're a little bit over or under? Not for normal life. So if you're not getting on stage, then you really don't need to nitpick, which is what I'm doing now. I'm not nitpicking, I'm just making sure I still eat lots of good food and I enjoy this. Like I never ever get sick of eating salmon, never. So I can eat it all year round, comp time, non-comp time. So you've got to find those meals. White fish, I don't mind it, but if I eat a lot of it, I get sick of it. So I do like to eat salmon when I'm competing because I still enjoy it, and it means that my routine It means that my routine hasn't changed that much. She's a proper guard dog. It's just, it's windy today, so she's just going to be barking at everything. Now, I'll show you this. This is what happens. I'll cut this in half. So this cat, she's not bothered about food much. So I have to feed her separately because the other one will eat whatever he's given. So I can leave food out for her to graze and nibble throughout the day. The other one I cannot. So I'm lucky so this one down here, because he is like a fucking dustpan. He'll eat whatever I give him, and as much as I give him, he'll eat all of it. Can you shush? So luckily he can't jump very high, so he can't get on the bench. So her food is kept here, so she can graze throughout the day. That's the Ziwi Peak air dried, so that's natural food, but it's air dried. And she's eaten her meat and gravy, but I won't give her another one probably till tomorrow. So I can leave her food on the bench. She can just eat that whenever. But this one, he can't get up there. So I have to control his portion so he doesn't end up obese. So you are like that as well. I have to control how much I give you because you'll eat as much as I give you. Same with you, right? You'll eat as much as you're given, and you, yeah. See, it is a 12. That means he wants a treat. Hey, so who would like some salmon skins? See, she's right next to it. She could just honk on that right now if she wanted to, but she doesn't really want to. These guys all want to. So, let's give them some salmon. Right, so the dogs can have this size each. And then Raffy the cat, I'm going to get him a little bit, because he's much smaller. Raffy! Okay. Well, he's actually busy right now over there, doing his business. So you two. Oh, here he comes. Raffy, watch this. Yeah, it goes down in. Good girl, good boy. Yum. I think one of the most important things you can do for yourself, for your own self-care, for your sanity, to keep yourself in a routine, is to do food prep. And I would even go so far as to say that it doesn't even really matter what it is you're making. What matters is that you just keep preparing your meals. And you can see here, I'm literally just eyeballing everything. I'm not weighing or measuring anything. I'm just making plain old delicious savory mince with broccoli, cauliflower and carrot rice, the one that you can just heat up in the microwave. A little bit of jasmine rice, and it's Thai flavour, so it's got this really nice aroma to it. And I'm just portioning them out however I feel fit, just to have lots of good, healthy, clean food available in the fridge. I think that's a real key point for someone who's come out the other side of a competition, is these are the things you do get sick of doing. You get sick of weighing and measuring your food, you get sick of portioning things out into containers. And I get it, because leading in, you have to do it. You just there's no way around it. You must be prepared, otherwise you just don't look good on stage. So when you come out the other side and you suddenly don't really have to do it, or there's nothing pressing, it's so easy to just tell yourself you haven't got the time and let it all go to shit. But I think it's good to keep in a routine with that stuff, staying organized, taking care of yourself, putting your health first. And it just means, even though you might still go out and have the odd like takeaway meal and restaurant meals and stuff like that, it still means that you've got something simple, healthy and clean that you can eat between those meals. It stops you getting cravings. It makes you feel better. Because if you start kind of making meals as you go, then you tend to just get more cravings, because every time you want to eat something, you have to make it, and it's a pain. So I just like to make sure that I've always got some sort of good, clean, healthy meals in the fridge. They're not always fancy. Sometimes they're really plain. Sometimes I get a bit of inspiration to make something a little bit nicer. But for the most part, this is just about keeping lots of good, healthy food there so I can just keep eating it whenever I need to. Toilet, good girl. The toilet, good girl. I have this theory that if you're relaxed and calm in your mind, that your body will respond to what you want it to do much easier and more effectively. Earlier this year, I started studying sports psychology, and for the first time, I'm actually starting to understand the science behind what I always knew and believed, but didn't necessarily have the qualifications or the knowledge or the proof that what I believed was true. And yes, it is true. It's like strangling a cat. So if you're getting ready for a competition and you want the results so bad that you stress about it, you're actually putting yourself at a disadvantage. So as much as you want that fantastic result, it's actually very, very beneficial to not take it too seriously and to just let it happen a little bit as well. And I know this has happened to me in previous preps where I knew what I was doing, I was excited for the results, and I worked to be very relaxed in my mind, and I actually felt like my body started to change before I had even started changing what I was doing. And I mean, I hadn't changed my food, I hadn't changed my training. It was just that my mindset was starting to get in a good place as well. And I always say this to other people too, if you've got a goal or something that you're working towards, it needs to be the right time in your life. And I don't mean that you're not going to have any problems. What I mean is you're at a point in your life where you can mentally and physically relax and let the results happen. Yum. He's done. weeks post-comp, and I tell you what, this is, and I'm not exaggerating, this is the best that I have ever reversed out of a prep for at least 10 years, maybe ever. I had a very good reverse out of a prep in 2015. It was my third season of competing, and I remember when I hit my off season after those comps, I almost stayed in exactly the same shape. I maybe put on like 1 or 2 kilos on the scale, and then I maintained that for like a year and a half. I found this sweet spot back then where I felt like I could do less work or put in less effort, and yet I was getting a better result for the work that I was putting in. I just felt like my body had shifted and something was working really well. And it's only now, 10 years later, that I found that place again. Ever since I turned 41, I definitely feel like my body has changed. I'm starting to feel the effects of age for the first time ever. And right now, when I've got no comps coming up in the near future, I'm really focused on doing a lot of mobility work. I can feel there's a click going on in my shoulder. I'm just not recovering as well as I normally do. Things are feeling a little bit tight. I know I've got muscle imbalances. So I'm using this opportunity to do a lot of functional work, a lot of stability work, flexibility, core strength, working on any imbalances that I can find, and I'm just really enjoying it. It's incredibly challenging, but in a totally different way. So this is me just really enjoying single leg work, single arm work, balance work, stability, anything that I feel like I need to work on. And I've got a weak left rear adductor, so the sled is my answer to that. Pulling it with my left leg looks a bit weird though. And I don't know about you, but yo my goodness, tastes 1,000 times better when you eat it directly after a workout. That's why I like to do my Saturday workout late at night, so that I can eat something like this afterwards, and it tastes so much better.